Okay, this one you're not going to beat. Not that we're trying to beat each other, but if we were,
In the spirit of absolutely no competition whatsoever.
9.4 out of 10.
Wow.
Hello and welcome to Spaghetti Junction, the season with no end. My name is Gareth.
My name is Bruce.
And we talk about things.
We just
Don't know where they're going to go. Do we not want to go?
Wow.
Thank you. Topic today is one close to our hearts. Maybe one or two of you people out there might also feel it's close to your heart. And
Absolutely.
if not, well, check your heart before you wreck yourself. No, seriously. We are very avid series and you're more series than movies, aren't you?
I tend to kind of lean more towards series because the series is kind of ongoing. The movie, it's like you watch it and it's over.
Yeah.
But then there are some classic movies that I watch over and over and over again that I can quote the scripts from, and I'll just, they're just that good.
Yeah.
All the older ones, because I don't know.
But aren't there series that you actually wish they would end, like a movie? Many.
Yeah, I like it. I like it when they actually do bring a series to a proper end.
Yep.
Instead of cancelling the damn thing halfway through, like we know they do. You know who you are, production houses.
Yeah, I'm sure they're listening avidly to us.
I think we might have a bit of a moan about that as well.
I'm sure they're avidly listening to us, Bruce.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I almost see I don't know if you feel this way, but I almost see series as like the new reading. It's like
the new reading.
Yeah, as in instead of reading books, we watch series.
You read books a lot, don't you?
I do because I'm an avid reader. But I don't know, maybe that sounded a little bit more concise in my head than it did when I when I expressed.
You're the one who reads in this friendship here. I don't read.
Yeah.
I used to read in school, and that was it. I don't really.
You read because you had to.
Yeah. No. In school though, I was an avid reader. I would read. I would go through like at least 2 books a week.
Okay.
I would love reading. Now,
you just
for a very long time.
Yeah.
I can read, just to make sure that you know that. How
goodness.
It sounded like, yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, I still love like turning pages in a physical book, and I've got some books that I've got on my computer that I do try to read.
Yeah.
But just it's not the same.
Yeah.
So.
Give me a second.
Oh.
So talk amongst yourselves.
Oh my word! Now I've got to fill up the space. Well.
I don't have to hold your hand,
Gareth is doing other stuff.
I don't have to hold your hand.
Oh my word! Oh flip! He's doing his.
I don't know. I'm just having a drink.
Yes,
I'm not doing anything.
And having a drink
I'm
is
just
so
having
important.
A drink. It's very important to
listen. Oh wow! That sounded amazing.
Unlike the popular Coca-Cola, which infamously, may I say, contained cocaine. Didn't they? We don't know. Our friend Bradham set out to create a drink free of stimulants.
Did you just say stimulants?
Stimulants. In 1893, he created a mixture of water, sugar, vanilla.
Listen to those bubbles.
Cola nut extracts and oils. Pepsi, not a sponsor.
Wow.
Thank you.
I wasn't expecting the happy birthday, Mr. President voice from you.
Look, this is just the amazing thing about Pepsi.
What, it makes you sound like Marilyn Monroe?
It can. It's that powerful. You can be who you want to be.
And in this world,
who doesn't want to be Marilyn Monroe?
Okay, I don't have an answer for that. I really don't have an answer for that. If you're happy with admitting that you'd like to be Marilyn Monroe,
I mean, in another world. She had amazing dress sense.
Although having a song written about you by Elton John that's pretty up there.
Bless me.
Wow.
Pepsi.
Not a sponsor.
But they should be.
So Gareth and I, we really love our series.
Yes, we do.
We kind of get caught up, and we have our favorites. We have ones that we agree on, and I think we have ones that we disagree on.
I don't know if there's going to be a disagreement between
Probably
series.
not.
They're not that important in life.
Yeah, I know, that's right.
I know we love them, but if we're going to have a disagreement on series, then we truly have no shit with each other whatsoever, and we have a perfect friendship. If that's our only major gripe. Oh, look at series. Okay, fine, screw you.
Yeah.
End of fight.
I don't think we're going to have a heated debate about
no.
about this. So you were actually just telling me about one, I think, that you are watching.
I'll bring that in later.
Oh,
because it's not one of my top 5s. It's in my top 10 for sure.
All right.
That's not my top 5. So I'm going to tell you right now. But I can tell you the one that really started me off on series, and I will never, I don't think anything is going to top this. It's with Jack Bauer. It's 24.
Oh, yes, you were.
I am a crazy ass fan of 24 until they brought it back, and without Jack Bauer,
it's just not the same, hey?
No.
There's a couple of series where they've done that, and it's just the magic's gone.
Yeah, the magic's gone.
Yeah,
the magic is gone.
Yeah.
Poopy. So, Jack Bauer, and this got the magic point of 8.3 out of 10. Beat that one.
That did well, hey?
8.3 out of 10 on IMDb, which, for people who don't know, is the best site, I think, to go on to and find out more about movies, and they're not a sponsor. But they're really good. IMDb.com. This is where we're getting our ratings.
That's it.
And the ratings basically are out of 10. Obviously, the higher you go, the better you are. And Rotten Tomatoes are also very, very good as well. They also rate movies, and they're also very good. And on their Rotten Tomato level, they gave it 87%.
Sure.
So I'm just saying, imagine that for my top one, I get over 8s on both of them.
That's brilliant.
Check yours out later. So, counter-terrorism agent Jack Bauer fights the bad guys of the world a day at a time. With each week's episode unfolding in real time, 24 covers a single day across one season. Single day in the life of Jack Bauer each season. He deals with assassination attempts, nuclear attacks, bioterrorism, torture, traitors, sleeper cells, other bad guys, and the worst of all, alarming tendency for his romances to end badly. And that's all in one season. That's all in one day. One day.
Yes.
He's a legend. If you can deal with all that kind of stuff within a day, okay, fine, fair enough, they all don't hit him at once. But he deals with nuclear attacks or bioterrorism. There's more than one thing in each season that he has to face. He's like multiple problems at once.
That's it.
Because why? Because I think he was the Chuck Norris of series, because he just keeps on going. He takes the hits, and I like his style because he's very he doesn't give up, and he talks more with the loud than the quiet voice. He's like very, very. So 24 for me, I just loved it because I loved every season, is an hour, obviously, but an hour. No, actually, no. Every episode is about 50 minutes, roughly odd.
Yeah, and
within that, you get through an hour of his day.
Yeah,
and for me, the whole part of the excitement was when the clock went down. Tick, tick.
Yes,
tick.
and it's just counting. You're watching it count.
And you were watching the countdown every 9 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we keep on counting down. Then it ends at a juncture where you want to get to the next hour.
Yeah.
And to me, a good series is something that you end up watching 3 or 4 episodes, and it actually didn't feel that long.
Yeah.
Because you just want to keep on watching it, which I don't do recently. I haven't found a series that I'm watching. Well, I have actually. Not many that I want to sit and I'll go through 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
So 24 for me was great, and I idolized, Jack Bauer.
Yeah.
Because he could just get everything done and kick ass and do things that he wasn't allowed to do because it was the government has said he mustn't do, but he'll still do it.
Yeah.
Just because he can. I was like, yes, I want to be like you. And if I'm told that I can't do it, I'm still going to do it because I'll apologize later. Maybe that's part of my mantra, as in do something and apologize later.
It's easier to apologize than ask ask for permission.
Ask for forgiveness, yeah. Ask for permission, exactly.
That's it.
Jack Bauer.
Yeah, you are passionate about that series, man. I think I've seen
and I've
one
watched
season.
them all. I think I watched everything through twice, I think, at least.
Wow.
And I just love it because it's just got. And then there's one lady in the command center of where he is, and her name is Chloe, and Jack Bauer is very well known. In the fan nation. I'm just making a new word. In the fan nation of 24, he goes Chloe. Like it's like one of his like abrupt things which he always says.
Okay.
Chloe. That's how powerful he is. He can just use one person's name and he can be known for the rest of humanity.
Cheapers.
And Kiefer Sutherland actually is Jack Bauer. And he's friggin' boss. As is his dad. Do you know his dad's name? Kiefer Sutherland? Another Sutherland?
Oh, yes. Donald Sutherland.
There we go. That's his dad. Yeah.
I think we lost Donald Sutherland a few years ago.
He hasn't been lost. He's still alive.
Is he still alive?
He didn't go away.
He passed away.
He didn't. I love that line. I mean, that word. We lost him. We didn't freaking lose him. He didn't go anywhere. He wasn't playing hide and seek. People must say he died. Sorry, I'm very abrupt like that.
You are.
No, we lost him. You didn't freaking lose him. He's in the crematorium right now.
So he is dead.
Yeah, but you didn't lose him because I know he's there.
Okay.
That's my point. You didn't lose him.
But we did.
So if you've lost him, you're a nonno-brain. For the last 3 years, you lost him and no one knows where he is.
Oh, my word.
Sorry.
Wow.
Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
Not
at all.
Well, I mean, okay. So the one that I've been binge watching lately, and I also don't binge watch, but this one has definitely held me. And it's held me in its arms. It's held me in its arms, and it's rocked me to sleep.
Woo, nice.
And it's quite interesting. The one that I'm going to mention is like on the other side of the scale regarding age, because this one's almost brand new, whereas 24 is like how old?
You know what? I wish you hadn't asked that question. 2001.
2001. So yeah, what I've been watching, and this one is really, I've gone from one season to the other, and I'm almost done. Is into the Badlands.
It's also on my list.
Which I blame you for getting me into.
I had to
because it is that good. 500 years into the future, post-apocalyptic, which always gets me.
Yeah.
An area called the Badlands where the people exist in a feudal system, kind of like in ancient Japan. Areas run by barons.
Yes.
Fighters loyal to them called clippers.
Clippers, I remember that, yes.
Hardly any technology. Fuel, so older vehicles can run.
Yep.
Some electricity. And guns are non-existent.
That's right.
Everyone fights with blades.
Everyone fights like a frigging...
And it's...
Kung Fu master.
Yeah, Matrix combined with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style martial arts scenes. And the use of color, that was one thing that you really sort of...
Absolutely.
That you went on went on about.
Yes.
Which is fantastic. Characters are great. Only 3 seasons, unfortunately.
That's right.
But very, very graphic novel, comic book, fantasy type of thing. And I'm really, really enjoying it. It's been fantastic. The cinematography in season 2 and 3, since they went to Ireland, they filmed predominantly in Ireland. I had to even look that up. I'm like, where the heck are they filming this? Because the first season was cool. That was mainly filmed New Orleans, Louisiana area. And then the cinematography, the scale of the cinematography just went through the roof. And I thought, where is this being filmed? And yeah, mainly in Ireland.
I would love to know what they spent on that series.
Yeah, because it's insanely good.
It's beautifully shot and everything.
Yeah.
And that got an 8 out of 10. So it's just behind 24.
Cool.
At 88 out of 10. Just to make it clear. Yes, Bruce.
That's basically all I've got to say about Into the Badlands. It's awesome.
Yeah, for me, the reason why I like it as well is because it was a fresh idea, and I love the idea of them riding around on bikes, and and the sword play and the martial arts. You were saying it's a mix between
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
and
The Matrix.
And The Matrix, yeah.
And it's pretty close to.
And they make all the main, for me, all the main characters I invested into all of them, even though some of them were bad.
Definitely.
All of them. And Nick Frost.
Nick Frost's character is great.
Nick Frost, he can freaking fight like the best of them.
You know who I really love though is the guy who played the Sonny's main Baron in season 1. Guy with the beard, Quinn.
Oh, Quinn, yes.
Oh, his character was absolutely fantastic.
That came out in 2015.
Okay.
This is arguably my number one, next to the. I guess an honorable mention in my top 5 is X-Files, but I didn't watch all of them, so I can't really say. Okay, this one you're not going to beat. Not that we're trying to beat each other, but if we were,
in the spirit of absolutely no competition whatsoever,
9.4 out of 10.
Wow.
Breaking Bad.
Oh, wow.
That's probably my number. No, my number. I can't really number them all, but if I had to be a push, it'll be 24 as my number one.
Yeah.
Straight into Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad is all about a high school chemistry teacher that is diagnosed with inoperable lung cancer. Basically, what he does is he turns to manufacturing and selling methamphetamine.
Crystal meth.
Crystal meth, basically. Meth, but I want to get this word right. Methamphetamine. Is that right?
Methamphetamines.
Wow, wasn't even close. In order to secure his family's future. And he pulls in, and he gets in another character who I freaking love. What's his name now? Now I've lost my track. What was his name? Do you remember?
His character name was Jesse.
Jesse, that's right. That's right.
Forget the actor's name.
As Jesse Pinkman.
Yes.
By Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul, there we go.
Who did like a Fast and Furious style of gaming thing, and it sucked.
Oh, he did Need for Speed.
Need for Speed.
I actually enjoyed that movie.
Nice idea, but
I quite liked it.
Yeah.
It's like you don't take that kind of movie seriously.
Like Fast and Furious is, yeah. 9. Bryan Cranston was the main guy as Walter White. One of the reasons why I really loved it is it starts in such a bizarre way that makes absolutely no sense until you get into the episode itself.
Yeah.
So it starts off with something random that you don't understand, like why is it even there? Because it doesn't explain itself.
It's been so long since I've watched it. I actually need to go.
It does again. That, and that's the reason why one of the reasons why I really liked it. And then it goes into that episode where it just starts and it doesn't relate anything at all to the introduction of that next episode until you go a long way into the episode and then it filters into it. It's almost like what we do. I love to say that we're like Breaking Bad, but the idea of when you got to like how we start an episode.
Yes.
We will have like a mini clip of what's coming up.
Yes.
But at least ours makes sense.
Yeah.
In Breaking Bad, it makes absolutely no sense at all.
Well,
which is awesome because then it hits the series. It hits that episode, and when it becomes like you realize where it comes from, it just goes boom.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Breaking Bad was interesting for me because I think I gave it. I tried like the first season, the first time round, and I kind of tried it. I was like, I think I made it maybe 4 episodes.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck is this? And it lost me. It literally just.
Did you stop watching it?
It lost me, and I stopped.
Have you watched?
Yeah, no, don't. Okay. There's still the story's still coming. Just let me speak. Okay, that was just weird. And then quite a while later, other people were saying, "Oh my word, can't believe you haven't watched Breaking Bad. You have to watch it. You have to watch it." And I thought, okay, fine, let me give it another chance. And I can't believe how good that series was. I so enjoyed watching it. And then what I really enjoyed as well was them finishing it off with the movie El Camino. Basically,
I liked it, but not enough.
I enjoyed it because it did bring bring things around to a nice close. And
I just liked how the series ended. Like that's how I wanted it to end. I didn't want another. Let's try and make a Hollywood movie to really make people happy. How it ends? No, it ends. I'm not going to tell you how it happened, but it ends abruptly and it ends in its beautiful ending.
Okay.
I didn't even watch the rest of the movie.
Okay. No, I enjoyed.
I'm a die-hard fan. We don't need a movie. It's like they did exactly the same thing with 24. It's like we don't need another movie. We don't need a movie on the series because we're going to milk people. No, leave it the way it ended.
You see, now I'm different. When I watch Breaking Bad again, I'm going to watch El Camino at the end. Because I know that there's still more of that story, and I have to finish it. I think it
purges it.
That was a series that's a series we won't talk about.
So that came out in 2008 and then it ended in 2013. It got a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, so they're pretty much on the same thing. And it's set in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah, it was like a tiny little desert town.
Yeah. And I also like the way how he changes from a from a chemistry teacher into this hardened, over the top.
Watching him
how
make
he
that
changes is brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, just that.
And just the realizations as the series go of like how people begin to find out more and more about him, and I will actually watch it again.
Yeah, I'm not now talking about it. It's like now I'm keen.
Yeah, exactly.
So, one that I've gotten back into lately because I watch this one from time to time, and it's sort of I was actually watching this, and then you gave me Into the Badlands.
Oh, so you stopped?
And then I stopped, and I put
it on hold.
Yeah, and now I put on Into the Badlands on hold for a little bit after watching 2.5 seasons. Come on, just
no, but you can't be halfway through season and then stop.
But
that's like you are having your wedding vows and you just stop halfway through. You don't know where it's going to end. Whatever, carry on. It better be good to even come close to a reason why you stopped Into the Badlands.
I don't know. Maybe
I really hope it's going
to
to be good.
Agree with me.
Yeah, I want to hear it. I'm going to be angry if it's bad.
So it's just
let's spit it out.
It's a little series called Jericho. God. Wow. You see, you could probably sense Gareth's.
It's just it's just not close to Into the Badlands.
But it's completely different as well. It's not.
It's not good.
Wow.
Carry on. I'm only kidding. I haven't watched it.
In the spirit of no competition.
I haven't watched it, and I don't want to.
Okay. Well,
but this is why we're here. It is Bruce, and it only got a 7.9, and a 54% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, I like Rotten Tomatoes.
They can suck it.
Wow. That's a bit rude, Bruce.
So basically, Jericho is the story of the people of a small town in the middle of Kansas, and a bunch of nuclear bombs go off in the U.S. targeting major cities, and this town is then cut off from all communication and all that kind of thing, and they are wondering, what's going on. So it's a bit of a post-apocalyptic,
which you seem to like.
I really,
there's
a bit
movies.
of a theme.
You quite like those, yeah.
I do, but it's not a complete apocalypse.
Okay,
but
only partial.
Yeah, only partial. It's like
I didn't have a partial apocalypse.
It's like saying being a little bit pregnant.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
And it's just the goings on in this town and how these people now survive without infrastructure or anything like that. And they came to the end of the first season and they wanted to cancel it. And there's a story that gets mentioned in the series about a true story from World War II about how a group of soldiers in a surrounding or outside a town called Bastogne in France were surrounded by Nazis. No food, starving, outgunned, outmanned, and everything. And they the Nazi general sent a message and said, "I don't want to surrender. You're at a loss. Just give it up." Commander sent one word reply back saying "nuts," as in basically like "screw you, we're gonna bed in and we're gonna."
Okay.
And eventually they were relieved and everything.
Yeah.
And they tell the story in Jericho, and then when they wanted to cancel the season, they wanted to stop it at the end of season 1. People started sending in bags of peanuts to CBS.
For nuts. Oh.
Just bags of peanuts, and they were inundated with
because of the line nuts.
Thousands and thousands of packets of nuts. People
not lucky.
Yeah, it's an incredible story.
Okay.
And basically the fans were saying, "No, we're not. You're not canceling this."
Yeah.
And they actually picked it up and did a shorter second season, and then finished it off properly, which was very cool. So, and it's just one of those series that I really enjoy watching.
It sounds like it.
It is. It's very cool. You should give it a try.
No, I know about it. I've seen it. I know what it's about, and I'm aware of it, and I don't want to watch it.
Okay.
It doesn't make it bad. I just,
That's okay.
I do not want to. I've got so many series to watch, dude.
I know you do.
So, in my top, so these are all in my top 10s in no major orders. This is also probably, if I could have like 5 in the top 3, I would do it, but I can't. Stranger Things.
It was good.
Amazing.
Yeah. It was epic.
So Stranger Things, so a synopsis is this, that after the mysterious and sudden vanishing of a young boy, the people of a small town begin to uncover secrets of a government lab, portals to another world, and sinister monsters. The boy's mother desperately tries to find him, convinced he is in grave danger, while the police chief searches for answers. Trying to help find him, the boy's friends discover a strange little girl who's on the run from bad men, and her name is 9.
11.
You know what? This was just before she got older. Okay, so in the synopsis, she was just getting there, so she was still 9. Okay, but then as they found her later in the episodes later, she became 11. Just trying to cover that up. And that's with Millie Bobby Brown, who's one of my favorite actresses. She's friggin' good.
Did she play?
No, I'm just making it up because, of course she did.
I'm never sure of the actor's name.
What, do you think I'm making it up?
No, I didn't say that.
You did.
Wow.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Okay, I'm just asking. I don't know.
Sorry. But yes, if I bring up a name around a series, yes, she was in the series.
Okay, cool. Did she play 11?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. That's all I wanted to know. Jeez, hashtag
Sorry.
triggered.
I'm just doing hashtags now.
Oh.
You don't deserve to. You can't go that route. No matter how angry you are, don't bring in hashtags. It's gross.
What I loved about Stranger Things.
But I haven't finished.
Okay.
Fine, you can go now. My whole build up and passion is now gone.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to talk about 9 later. It's fine. Carry on. What's your excitement?
No, I really liked the fact that it's set in the 80s.
Correct.
Like early 80s.
It's an 80s. It's almost like a feel of like E.T. Not in the style of not in the synopsis, but yeah, that whole like 80s vibe.
Yeah.
And they did it also. There was another Steven Spielberg movie that was also done in the 80s. But yes, sorry, it is. Yes, their like music and everything is very 80s.
Definitely.
The way they dress and everything, yeah.
And The Weeknd, the song Blinding Lights.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear that song, I think of Stranger Things. I associate that song with Stranger Things.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's Whenever I hear that song, and I really love it, I love The Weeknd. I think he's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm so surprised because there's no like major music instruments going on.
He is honestly probably the only pop artist at the moment that I give
That's
any
so surprising.
damn about.
That's so surprising.
Except for Wanna K Rock.
Wanna K Rock, yeah, but they use real instruments.
But yeah, The Weeknd.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
yes.
just from a songwriting point of view, and the fact that he's gone this whole 80s vibe.
That's why I like him.
It's absolutely fantastic.
So the first. Wow.
It must have been that
Pepsi.
Not a sponsor
yet. And their like whole thing of the like other world, which is called the Upside Down.
Yes.
I love it because it's just a random. I don't know. I just really like that thing of being it's an upside down, and the monster in there. Can you remember what that monster is called?
I can't, but it was scary as hell.
I can't remember. I need to find out what the name was because it's a Gogum sugar.
I don't recall, but I remember.
No, but I have to because
I remember the first time in the first season when it was actually revealed fully. I was like, "This is one of the best monsters they've done in a series." It
was well done, huh?
Yeah. And it's not often you find really cool monsters these days, either in movies or series. You like look at some of them and you're like, yeah, really?
So it is called the Mind Flayer.
Wow.
The Mind Flayer.
And he was a cool name.
Introduced in season 2. And then Will is able to communicate with 11, but he shares a link. As it goes on, he shares a link. Sorry, hope that wasn't a spoiler. Whatever. But there's a link between a guy called Will and this shadow monster. Yeah, that monster. Okay. Sorry, I'm just seeing a signal of our timing and it's going. So I might have to do like one more each or something. But yeah, the Mind Flayer. And it's... The new season's coming out later this year. I just loved it. It was just really well done, and I love that kind of that whole kind of series. Did a whole thing as well, of like supernatural creatures, science fiction, and they acted so well. I'm sorry, but 11, she's a legend.
The kids were fantastic actors. They really were.
Yeah,
and I think the whole concept of that series was just very original.
Yeah,
I think that's maybe why. I don't know, maybe why I enjoy series a little bit more is because I'm kind of like movies are done. It's like
sure.
I don't find a lot of very original ideas in movies these days. Whereas in series, it's sort of like, oh, okay. You kind of, yeah.
There is nothing new under the sun, Bruce.
Except in the world of series. Tell that to the creators of Stranger Things.
True.
And be like, really? Hold my beer.
Yes.
Okay, so are you done? Am I not interrupting?
Sorry,
check.
I had a moment and apologize. So no, we have time to get through one each. One more each. So like you were saying, Bruce, we might get through 4. I will see where it goes. Yeah.
I think when we get talking about series, it's
exactly. Carry on.
Well then, yeah, I think I look at my list here and I'm like, oh my word.
So maybe like find one more and then find what you can say honorable mentions where we can't really like go into them that deep. So find one more that we can really get into deep, and then we can like honorable mentions kind of thing.
Okay, so believe it or not, this one is not tied to anything about the apocalypse.
Strange.
But I'm also very big into World War II stuff, and one of the ones that I at least have to watch. Let's put my words in the right order. That I have to watch at least once a year.
Yeah,
is Band of Brothers.
Is that based on the movie itself? No, wait a minute. There was a movie that was based, isn't it?
I think Garrett's having another moment.
Saving Private Ryan. I think it was linked to it in some form.
No.
Really?
It's the same. It's the same era where it's the invasion of Normandy.
Okay, so that was slightly. Okay, yeah. I'll take the 5%.
Well, I would say the two world. Band of Brothers is the series you have to watch once a year if you're a guy.
Wow, Bruce.
And if you're and the movie and the
No,
and
if you are a guy with issues about their masculinity, you should watch it once a year.
that and Saving Private Ryan.
And who created them both, by the way?
Tom Hanks.
Steven Spielberg. He didn't create it.
Oh, sorry.
He acted in them
Steven
both.
Spielberg.
Funny enough.
Sorry.
But
yes.
Steven Spielberg.
Look at you.
Thank you.
So, Band of Brothers follows Easy Company, the men of Easy Company, as they parachute into France on D-Day and make their way from France through Europe, eventually to the Eagle's Nest in Austria, capturing the Eagle's Nest where Hitler was hiding out. Absolutely fantastic series. And they also interview the original members who were still so alive of Easy Company.
Were they still
so all of the people, all the guys
were they
who
still alive then? But don't worry, my brain is wondering if they were still alive then, but right now they're dead. But they managed to get to them right in the big. They actually found them in the actual war and had a chat with them.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm just wondering.
So that's a very interesting sort of part. I think it's either at the beginning or the end of the episodes, and they'll interview the guys that are depicted by the particular actors.
And it was only one season, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a mini-series. A mini-series of 10 episodes. They did the Pacific as well. They're actually based on books that were written by a particular author. There's one that I'm hoping that they would make into a series. There's a book called Into the Blue, and that was about a B-17 bomber squadron.
You've lost me.
Which I enjoyed so much. I loved the book, and it would be great to see it as a
fantastic
series. So, yes.
And you've actually tied with Breaking Bad, 9.4.
Wow, look at that. Pretty
much each of ours has a 9.4 and a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
In the spirit of absolutely no competition whatsoever.
Correct. Okay, we're pretty much out of time.
So, what is yours?
So let me finish. Well, no, I mean, I'll give like a honorable mention, but in this top section is Scrubs. I'm pretty sure you haven't watched Scrubs at all.
I have, and I've enjoyed some of Scrubs.
Really?
I haven't watched a lot, but I've enjoyed Scrubs because I'm not a big comedy guy.
Scrubs is it's awesome because I like the comedy stuff because in general they are like less than half an hour.
Yes.
And they're quick and they're fast. And Scrubs is all about the life in a hospital of a medical student rising all the way up to a doctor, within the same hospital.
Yeah.
And it follows about 4 or 5 characters.
Yeah.
And my word, it is the funniest comedy series I've ever watched, and I do not believe I'll find anyone even close. Closest to that, an honorable mention is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's actually on my list as well.
Which is great.
Yeah.
But Scrubs, there was just and what also made it good for me is my sister, who was a doctor, medical. She said to me that's actually the closest that someone has ever got to to what is actually what really happens. So I thought, okay, if my sister, who's a doctor, can actually say, a lot of that, or a lot of what they went through and what of the whole creation of it is even remotely close to the medical world.
That's interesting.
Then she said it was very well done.
Cool.
And and like a lot of what they went through is believable.
Right. Okay.
So I loved Scrubs. In fact, I have it on my system already.
Nice.
And it's like 9 seasons, so I think I've gotten through 3 so far.
Yes.
It's the only series that really made me laugh extremely hard. So that's Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Modern Family. Those 3 are my favorite.
Yeah, Modern Family as a comedy is also.
Yeah.
I've had my share.
So honorable mentions 3, but we can't really break into them because our time was pretty much done.
Oh yeah, almost. Okay.
So honorable mentions.
Let me see.
Talking to the mic.
Honorable mention: Strike Back, Special Forces one, originally based on a book. One British series got taken up by an American production house.
Okay, next. We just said it's an honorable mention.
Okay. Sons of Anarchy, obviously from my side.
I was wondering why that wasn't even in your
I know.
Because that's like one of your biggest ones.
8 seasons of bikes and guns and organized crime.
Okay, that's actually a very good synopsis, Bruce.
And one that's a bit obscure, Mr. Mercedes, which I really enjoyed.
I liked the first episode. Holy shit.
Oh, you did watch it?
When he ran right through the whole crowd and everything.
Yeah, both seasons was fantastic. Anything written by Stephen King for me is...
Was that really him?
It was written by Stephen King. I don't think it's based on a book, on one of his books, but he wrote it. Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go.
Scrubs, by the way, got an 8.3, which is, it's pretty good. And it had 182 episodes. Okay, quick mentions for me. Fargo is one of them. I'm not even going to explain what they are. You can IMDb them. Fargo is one. The Irregulars, which was on Netflix, like a science fiction, like a fantasy Sherlock Holmes series.
Okay.
Where it's where it's all about linked with Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
In that era.
Right.
And where he relied on a bunch of street kids to help him to solve the mysteries. But all the mysteries involved were all supernatural stuff.
Cool.
Loved it. It got stopped after one season. I don't understand why. I got okay. Rick and Morty, wonderful. An honorable mention definitely, which is an animated one that you would probably watch if you could, is Harley Quinn, because it's a badass Harley Quinn. It's not a normal cartoon. There's blood and violence and swearing. It's wonderful. Awesome. The last one that I recently watched is called Mosquito Coast. That is definitely one that I've just watched, and I actually binge watched most of it, which I didn't think I would.
I remember you've told me about it.
Beautiful.
So I need to check that out.
Wunderbar. That has been a little bit synopsis. Maybe you can find one or two which you guys like, and stuff that we've missed. Write it in the comments, and we might actually watch it and see if you're right or not.
Cool.
This has been the Spaghetti Junction podcast, and my name is Gareth.
My name is Bruce. Thanks so much for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys. Happy viewing.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.